You ever have that moment where you're out and you see someone get surprised with something and they're genuinely surprised and they're genuinely happy? And it seems like the smallest thing to you, but in retrospect for them, it means so much because it's something that they never had, or it's something that someone's never done for them. And that's the moment that I feel the heart chakra opens, and everybody, no matter what type of human you think you are, can feel that moment of, wow, that's what love feels like. Welcome back to Along This Spiritual Journey. To me, the electricity of love is so beautiful because love is not just romantic. Love is a feeling, love is a state of being, love is a mindset, love is a discipline. And it's all these things wrapped into one. And then you just get it thrown at you like confetti or glitter. And you're like, whoa, and you're just overwhelmed. And when the dust of this confetti settles and you still see this beautiful picture there, you're like, wow, that's really cool. I wish that could happen to me, or I would love for that to happen to me. And to me, that's what the moment is really about, right? Like when we see surprise proposals or surprise birthday parties, or someone surprising someone with a vacation somewhere, and that person just immediately fills up with emotions. And in that moment, when you see him try to hold it in, even yourself, you break and you start crying, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in my feels, because you see that person is genuinely breaking down their walls. That's the moment when the spirit gets to see the soul and the ego love each other at the same time. Because spirit to me is a state of mind, it's a state of being. And so for me, like, I'm a genuinely happy person all the time, so my spirit is joy. But I still get down and I have my days off and suppressed about different memories and thoughts and feelings because I'm a human. But my soul is always like, we got this, you got this, we can get through it. And they're always focusing on doing the work. But when I have a moment of joy, just pure joy and a break, that's when my spirit's like, yes, I get to see you happy. And that's what other experiences of people that we see happening in our life throughout the world, when they get to see joy and feel joy, we know that it can be that way all the time. That's the moment of recognizing that it can be that way all the time. And I don't mean all the time where it's overly saturated and you don't get to experience that love at its purity, but we've gotten so used to darkness and so used to not having, that when we see it happen to someone, it's always goes to two roads first. You're always going to get the two roads first. Either, wow, I can't wait until that happens to me, or wow, I wish someone would do that for me. Because this one is laced with doubt, and this one is laced with faith. And depending on how you choose to follow that road, is how you're going to keep experiencing life. So if you keep going down the road of doubt, you're going to keep going down the road of doubt, which takes you further into that doesn't happen to everyone. Now you're cynical. And now you're looking at everybody who has it and saying it's fake and it's made up. And now you're mad and now you're bitter, right? Versus going down the road of faith, which to some people we can say is delulu. But faith just means I'd rather feel that I know and be happy and just see what happens and see what aligns and let the universe bring what needs to come to me with no restrictions and no doubt and no blockages. And if it comes to me, it comes to me. And when it does, that's what makes it a celebration moment. That's what faith is. That's why people love Keith Lee so much, because he didn't stop and say, I wish I was a food critic. I wish I knew what I was doing, or I wish that I. No, he just said, I'm going to judge this food because I'm a consumer, and that's what we all are a critic on some level. So I'm no different than any other person, and I have faith in what I'm saying. As long as I'm honest and truthful, it will resonate, and people will believe in that, and they'll go with that. And as long as I live by that, that's my truth. That's where it becomes the human connection, where the heart chakra is like, yes, I want to see someone win. I want to see winners win. We have become a society obsessed with people who lose because they've been hurt, and then they become supervillains. And it's like, listen, I understand that that is a part of the human condition, but There's also people who have been hurt and abused just like that, and they've come out to be the superhero, and they learn how to love themselves and love back and give back to others and appreciate others' experiences for joy that it is. Because here's the thing about how energy works. If you look at someone and you become bitter that they're happy, you're going to call in more bitterness. It's just how it works. If you're if you look at someone and you're genuinely happy for them and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for them," because you know that they deserve it and that you know that the energy itself is just deserving to be seen, and you're just grateful for being a part of that moment, guess what? You just called it in, because once you're grateful for that moment, gratitude now says, "Hey, you're part of my group. Gratitude, come on over and jump in line." And you're like, "Wait a minute. Oh, wait. I was over there and desperate and hoping." But when you have a moment of gratitude, gratitude doesn't care. It will pull you in. But the moment you say, "I don't believe in gratitude anymore," then that's your stop and you get off, and gratitude will keep on going. And you can sit there and not believe and not be grateful and then wonder why things are starting to go awry. Because when we get to a place in life when we don't take the little things that are important to each of us to a place of saying, "I respect that type of love," even if you don't have it. That's the one that we have to remember. Even if you've never experienced it, don't hate it. Why? I understand that hate is an easy emotion, but try the more challenging one and ask yourself, why do I not want to see someone else happy? And if I'm incapable of it, that means, wow, I've never had the opportunity to experience that type of love yet. And it sucks that I can't see the joy in it. But one day, I hope that I'm able to get myself to that capacity. And when I do, I will be so glad to be joyful for those people or for that joy or for that situation. Trust me, that's a far ways away depending on where you are on your spectrum, but it's a doable task. And it's all about re-electrifying that heart chakra and trusting the experiences that others have. There's always going to be somebody who tries to mimic it and replicate it, and it becomes over romanticized, and then it becomes some trick of the trade where people are just using each other to get something right. That's we are kind of know how it goes when it comes to certain situations. You can figure out what scenarios you want, but for me, it's more about being honest and genuine and just showing that you think about someone. Just small gestures really do matter. They go so far because, again, you don't know what someone grew up never having. So when they have it, it freaks them out. And you just have to give them the time to go figure that out and process it on their own. And while they're doing that, you take that time that you would normally be sitting there waiting, and you go put it back into yourself and you go live your life. And if you come back together and you work with someone who wants to give you that type of love, great. But never seek out that attention. Don't drop hints. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. No. Let it come to you. Stay in gratitude. Unfortunately, we don't get to decide how people see us and how they want to celebrate us, but we can celebrate ourselves and open our hearts to a place of just being happy that joy exists and that we get to be a part of being in its presence. And if you allow that state of being to even just sneak into your mind for a little bit, you will be surprised how many doors open and those moments just out of nowhere start happening for you. So, yet again, just like everyone else, I love you. I hope that resonated. Have a good one.